We from Philly.
If you don't know, we run these streets the same way the birds run that NFC East. Giants is weak, Skins is trash. Cowboys every season whoop that ass. Look, it ain't no competition. We here for those who listen. Want nothing but the facts. That ego coalition. We could give two fucks about your trash ass team. Our concern is about that black, that white, that midnight green. The feathers on the helmet, bruh, our hearts indebted. Fly Eagles fly, what it's about, bruh. I said it, look up.
But I just gotta know one thing. Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready?
Wentz takes the snap. Wentz fires out in the flat to Aguilar. Aguilar across the 10, across the 5. He leaps! He's in! Touchdown! There he is! Nelson Aguilar!
Hey, man, that guy is magical with the ball in his hands. Nelson Aguilar on just a quick stop route. He shakes the defender, the safety coming up, and then just dives over the defender into the end zone for a touchdown.
That, my friend, was a 1.5 off the high board.
What's up? Philadelphia! We are live! Broadcasting from the beautiful New Media Studios right outside of Philadelphia. Welcome to the 2017 Week 13 episode of the 4th and JAWN Show. Boys and girls, your Philadelphia Eagles are 10-1 as they continue to steamroll the competition in the NFL. 10-1 after a spanking of the Chicago Bears. Now. With a 10-1 record, you would think that with an offensive scoring the most points in the NFL, a quarterback who leads the league in touchdown passes, a defense that's number one against the run, a 14.4 point on average margin of victory, which is the best in a decade, and 3 consecutive wins by 28 points or more, that would silence the haters, the naysayers, and the critics. But no, boys and girls, you know it all too well, and you can even say it with me, because they've got one excuse left. You ain't beat nobody good. Well, I'll tell you what, naysayers. I'll tell you what, haters. I'll spot you that. I'll give that to you. I'll spot that to you, okay? Because if you take a look at it, the Eagles' wins comes against opponents that are combined 42 and 68. But now, to quote Martin Lawrence in Bad Boys 2, shit just got real. Because now the Eagles fly to the West Coast in one of the most difficult stadiums to play in, the 12th man, against one of the most dangerous quarterbacks, most versatile quarterbacks in the NFL, a team that has won 4 out of their last 6, the Seattle Seahawks. Now, if you lose this game, Philadelphia Eagles and the fans, don't worry. Regardless of what the Vikings do, you are still the number 1 seed in the NFC because of tiebreakers, because of divisional record, because of conference record. But if you win, all those naysayers and the haters and the critics are going to have to take one knee, lean forward, pucker up those lips, and kiss the ass of everybody that's wearing midnight green. I want to throw it to my man to my left. He is the Funk Soul Brother. He is a Philadelphia Eagles lover, and he spits the facts like no other. Mr. Gale Saunders, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. All right. Who's not doing great in this room?
I'm fantastic.
Feeling fucking great, right? I want to start off with another quote. If you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. And what's never been had is a Super Bowl trophy in this city. And what needs to be done, and what's being done weekly, records are being broken.
Yes, sir.
By our Carson Wentz, the quarterback of the future and the present. Fletcher Cox, the most sacks by a defensive tackle in a Philadelphia Eagles uniform. 28 of 39 in the red zone. We're fucking phenomenal on third down defensively and offensively. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to know as a fan, like, what's the mindset of this football team and the belief system that these guys are believing in each other, whether it's their spiritual, whether it's their religious, whatever. It's Doug P. having them all buy in. At the end of the day, it's a belief system, and their mental makeup is the winning edge week to week. And I'm going to sum it up with another quote by the greatest quarterback of Philadelphia history, maybe, Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Of North Dakota.
This should be good.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for us is, I think, that's something we've done so well is just staying in the moment. Staying in the moment, winning every day, winning the week. I know sometimes it sounds redundant and sounds cliche, but that's really what we do. It's really the mindset that we have around here for every practice, really every rep. Guys are going all out. Guys are really locked in and focused. I don't think we have the guys that are going to let that slip away. If you don't feel fucking confident after that, the guy who's leading the ship on the road to victory has got the mindset of this team in this fan base.
I might make another baby tonight, just to name him Carson.
You got to be confident.
Absolutely, and the Eagles avoided what arguably could have been, by definition, not that the Chicago Bears are any good. That is a lousy team. But by definition, a trap game is a game where you're coming off of a big win, especially over a divisional opponent. You've got an inferior opponent in front of you, and you play down to the level of the competition. Now, it wasn't the greatest game. It was a sloppy game on a lot of accounts. But you know what? The Eagles didn't play down to the competition. They kept it rolling. You know, in this grand scheme of the NFL, to have a successful season, you have got to beat the teams you were supposed to beat. You have got to beat the teams you should beat, and then you've got to steal some away from the teams that you probably won't beat. Right now, I can't name a team as we go forward into this season, into a couple difficult games, 3 away games, 2 on the West Coast, 2 having playoff implications, probably playoff previews. That is the formula. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat the teams you should beat, and steal some away from the ones that maybe are better than you. I can't name a better team in this league. I don't care if it's in the NFC. I don't care if it's in the AFC. Don't give me the Patriots. They're better than the Patriots. Don't give me the Steelers. They're better than the Steelers. Working the social media today is our boy, Philly Mike. How are you feeling today, sir?
What's up, brothers? What's
happening?
going on? 10-1 is such a good feeling. I need to give a praise to our defense, guys. Our defense has been balling this whole year. Even though the Bears suck, the Bears really suck. They had the top 5 rushing offense in the NFL, and we had them at negative yards on Sunday. Their best rusher was their quarterback, Trubisky. He had 12 yards, I believe, and then the rest of the running backs had negative yards. This team is so complete with the offense, defense, even the special teams without Sproles and Maragos. I have no words. This team is just, it's going to be going places. I'm praying to God it's the SB word. Life is good right now, y'all.
We shall see. And I'll say it again. Look, they're routing people. Like, they're just not beating teams.
Curb stomping.
They are curb stomping.
Finish him.
They are leaving teeth on the curb of the NFL. I'll say it again. I said it in the intro. This is the 3rd consecutive win with what, 28 points?
Too fucking easy!
And that ties an NFL record. They're beating teams by 14.4 points on average. I mean, that's unbelievable when you think about it, that's the best in a decade. Going back to the beginning of the season, we could have never have imagined, with the injuries that this team has had, Jason Peters, Darren Sproles. I'll even throw in a Chris Maragos. Our kicker goes down.
A lot of leaders.
A lot of leaders. And they keep stepping up. This team says a lot of cliche stuff. Next man up. One game at a time. This is stuff you hear from teams that are not as good, not as tight in the locker room, yet it doesn't sound cliche when it comes from the Philadelphia Eagles. Working the soundboard today is Mr. Evan Bubblegum Ear, looking awful scruffy, my friend.
I'm looking quite grizzly, man. I am. It's coming in pretty thick. It's growing on me, though, man. It's honestly growing on me.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Yeah, no pun intended.
It literally is.
Yeah, it literally is. All right, so I'm going to run some quick math by you guys, all right?
You
don't need to get your calculators out because I've already added it all up for you. Numbers I got for you, you've already listed. 23, 28, 28, 28. That equals 107 points the Eagles have outscored their opponents by in the past 4 weeks. Anybody that wants to throw out the excuse that the Eagles haven't played anybody good, just tell me exactly what exactly they're supposed to do. Are they supposed to win by 30 points, 40 points, 50 points in order to convince you? I don't understand it. It's the quality of these wins and how the way they are dominating in every aspect of the game on offense, defense, and special teams. They haven't been as good in previous years on special teams, but the offense and defense have stepped up tremendously this year. And one last thing. Jordan Howard was the second leading rusher heading into the previous game, right? Mm-hmm. And he got 6 yards in that entire game. This defensive line could stop the running of the Bulls in Spain, man. It is unbelievable. They are impenetrable, and they are the whole reason that this team has been so consistent all year.
And the funny thing is, like, people talk about the schedule. Like, some of the teams that might have been 500 if not for the Eagles whooping that ass.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, who are like 5 and 6. We whooped that Redskins ass
Twice.
2 times.
Yeah.
2 times.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers, who are 5 and 6. Mm-hmm. Who else? Is there anyone else?
Panthers at the time? Do you say Panthers?
Yeah, they're 8 and 2, but I don't want to hear it.
I'm sorry.
We're making teams under 500 when they play us.
Absolutely.
Every time.
And you know what? It's an interesting thing to keep hearing this excuse over and over again about the Eagles haven't played anybody good.
Yeah.
So conveniently they forget the Panthers, but let's break it down. Let's take a look at it. I mean, the Eagles' opponent that they're beating, the opponents that they're beating, their winning percentage is 380. Right? 380 winning percentage. Seahawks wins against opponents. They have a record of 310. So are the Seahawks fans making the same? Is the 49ers fans? Is the Cardinals fans? Are they making the same excuses for the Seattle Seahawks? Like, oh, they ain't played nobody good?
What about the Patriots? Every year they get like 6 wins.
Yeah.
Easily
from like
in
the
their
Bills,
division.
Jets, and the Dolphins. But nobody says anything about the Patriots.
Right.
It's Belichick. But, I mean, they have an easy route to the playoffs usually every year.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We do. Aton was just touching on the drama that was going on in the New York locker room, right? And all the front office, that entire dumpster fire. And that's something that the Eagles have been able to avoid, drama in the locker room. But it almost seemed like at the end of last game, due to a lack of really anything to talk about because you're spanking the Bears so bad, you got a little Jay Ajayi in the locker room post-game. Evan, can you play that clip real quick?
My role is to run the plays that the coaches call. That's what I've been doing.
You get ribbed again about getting caught from behind inside the 5-yard line on that one run that Nelson recovered for a touchdown?
No, I just go run the plays that coaches call. I'm happy with winning. Let's keep it going.
And then, on the post-game show, one Ray Didinger had this to say.
I would say, just shut up and tote the ball.
Shut up and tote the ball.
Get off my lawn.
Ouch. Dear Philadelphia media, on behalf of all Eagles fans, do not speak locker room drama into existence. I know that beating the Bears, you don't have much to talk about. It was such a thumping that you're struggling to really fill 90 minutes worth of a post-game show. And Ray Didinger, by far, is one of the most
historian.
Humble. Yes.
He's an almanac.
Yeah. He's like Father Diddy. You know what I mean? Like he's the preacher. He's by far one of the most humble, respectful individuals in the media I have ever met. However, on this, I can't think of being more dead wrong on an issue.
Yeah, when I saw it, I love Ray Didinger. I'm trying to be the black Ray Didinger. But when he said Blackinger. So when I saw him, I was like, yeah, did he really say that? I was like, it was like out of left field.
Yeah. I think he even threw in a chief afterwards.
Yeah,
Like,
I
throw
was
the ball
like,
chief.
Really, dude? You might want to take a nap, Ray.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about.
Howard Eskin even said on 941, right when I was heading my way here, he said he's in the locker room all the time. Ray Dinger isn't as much, I would say. I guess, according to Howard Eskin, make that as a grain of salt. But Eskin said that Ajayi was just pissed off because of the fumble and the drop he did with that screenplay during the game. That's what he was really pissed off about. He wasn't pissed off at all about the carries. And to be honest, that kind of makes more sense because after that fumble, he's been the sidelines pissed off. You can see video clips of him just being pissed off the whole time.
Be. I mean, then you think about last week when he had that run against the Cowboys and he didn't score.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wants to score.
Yeah.
I mean, any running back wants to score, and any a really good running back who's averaging 9.7 yards a carry wants to get the rock. And him fumbling in the end zone, not getting in, that's got to be. I'd be fucking pissed as shit because I'm like, yo, I need to score. You know, even though they're winning. But
after hearing that Jay Ajayi cut, I really didn't interpret anything that like he was upset about the amount of carries he was getting. I got that he was frustrated for sure. But like you said, Mike, I think that it comes from the fact that this dude just desperately wants to get in the end zone, and he comes like a hair away from getting there almost every time, and then he gets caught or he fumbles.
He did
or
clap back on Twitter though with the clowns.
He did.
Yes,
he did.
he did.
Clown emojis, 3 of them.
Don't confuse being upset with your own personal performance with being upset with the team. There have been times, and the listeners don't know this, but there have been times at the end of the show, in this show, that I storm right out of this studio. And it's not because you did a bad job. It's not because you did a bad job. It's not because you did a bad job. It's because I felt like I did a bad job, and I'm upset with myself. That's all it was. Let's not try to make more out of it than it already is. Or it isn't anything anyway. Jesus Christ. All right, let's go to Lee first. Let's go to Lee on the